Friends, welcome to Mount Edwards Bike Park. This place that you've seen in videos before, literally the last upload, we were here, is a local public bike park, dirt jump park. What that means is all these structures, all of these jumps, everything that is here is open to the public and funded by the government. Anybody can come here. Now, what's supposed to happen here and what used to happen is the city puts out a tender, or like it hires a company to maintain these jumps. And every spring around this time of year, they get completely redone so that they're like rideable. But after that, they don't really get a whole lot of maintenance after that. I've mentioned a couple times, I'm like, I don't know if there's funding for this anymore. Turns out there is. It's just gone to tender, and the company that got the bid, won the bid, well, they're just like a landscaping company. So like they don't like build dirt jumps. They like mow lawns. So yeah. And you know, hopefully without sounding too cynical or kind of like an asshole, I don't have a whole lot of faith that just some random landscaping company is going to, one, know what to do with any of this, two, touch it, like try and do anything. They'll see lumps of dirt and be like, yep, those are lumps of dirt that you could jump your bike off of. Good enough, let's mow the lawn. Three, and this is the worst, I don't actually think anyone's gonna show up. Jumps have all started to kind of look like this. This berm, this used to not be such a bomb hole of a berm. All this dirt was actually up here. It was a nice flat top. It was pretty good. Actually, it was better than pretty good. It was good. This dirt is supposed to be up there, obviously, shaped. And if you'll recall, if you're new here, this is not something I know how to do. I don't really know how to work on dirt jumps, but because this place is neglected so much, I was like, I'm just gonna start doing it. So I tried in November and I reshaped this, which I came back to and I was like, it's kind of in rough shape, but I just spent the last 45 minutes, maybe an hour redoing this, which I had also done in November, and it actually came together pretty good. So I think it actually lasted better than I'm giving it credit. And because it rained all weekend, the dirt is so nice, it's easy to just kind of throw around. So today is the perfect day to start what I'm going to call my new Tinker Tuesday summer into fall winter project. Taking these jumps from neglected to at least hopefully rideable, and then as things progress and I get better at it, I'd like to add on to this place. Even though the sign does say jumps or other structures created by users without permission will be removed. And I definitely do not have permission. So I spent the last 2.5 hours getting this, the first proper big jump in the big line, going again. The hardest part was getting the landing going because it's not something I had touched yet, and all of the dirt had been just eroded and taken away from the top and all at the bottom. So it was just a lot of manual labor, shoveling things back to the top, which is wildly tedious to do alone. But it is together, it's packed down, it's nice and kind of ready to, I would almost ride this. Thankfully the sun is out, it's on my side this time instead of November, so it'll actually dry out the dirt that I moved, and it'll work in my favor this time instead of being November and raining literally the next day. So the next piece of jump that I want to work on, obviously, is this one. This actually fared out better than I keep saying every time I show up here. I'm like, oh, they're all screwed and they're all messed up. But that lip is not in terrible shape. This will take a lot less time than that landing did, and what I know this landing over here is going to take. So I'm just gonna kind of scrape the face of it, get the dirt that was up here, back up here, and then smack it down, get a headache from that, and then start in the bag. Out of everything, it's the packing it down that sucks the most when you're not used to it. It's jarring, it goes right to your brain. After doing 2 jumps and a little bit of this one, it just kind of gives you a headache. So it's really nice to have Mike here to do a good portion of the work on this jump. Half an hour to get this one done. That was way faster than this landing, which makes sense. I had an extra person. If I didn't have an extra person right now, Mike, I probably would have gave up. I don't think I would have done this. It was also in a lot better shape. Next up, and I would have also given up, I probably wouldn't do this today if Mike wasn't here right now.
This one doesn't look so good.
Yeah, this one is rough. Obviously, I had to try riding them. How am I supposed to do all this work today with the sun out and not try riding them? They actually do run okay. You can get over them if the wind is not blowing you back. The wind heads in that direction, which is the direction that you've got a headwind coming into them. And that sucks, especially when you're like, get in the air and you're not very good at jumping, like me. The fruits of the labor, that is actually getting onto them and riding them a little bit. Okay, that does it. I got a lot more done today than I thought I was going to. My original goal was just to get this first jump going, but to have this one going as well, I will take that as a complete and utter win. The next thing I think that I would like to deal with is the aesthetics of them. They aren't pretty. Like, there's no denying they are not pretty. The surfaces that you ride on, you can ride on them, but to look at them, they're like, eh. So eventually, as things sort of harden up and dry out, maybe later this week, I'll actually sort of cut away at the sides and wait for this motorcycle to go by. I'll actually start to shape them and make them maybe look a little bit better. If not for my own obsessive aesthetics, the way I want it to look, I want it to kind of look kind of cool. Possibly to deter anyone from like running around on them or whatever unknowingly. If they like look pretty, maybe, just maybe, people will be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't touch them. Understanding, of course, this is a public space, and that is wishful thinking. I'm gonna give those two jumps a couple of days to harden up and get some of the wetness out of them. This needs work, but this is the part where I wanna make things mine. See this berm, you come around here. What I want it to do is get cut right here, or have like a roller, and then start building some of this stuff back up. I remember when I was younger, when I would come here, there was stuff here. These mounds are here because they were jumps. I'd like to bring them back into play. So hopefully that sign says no unauthorized building. Well, I'm not building anything. I'm just doing some landscaping. So roller out of that berm into this bump, which could be a double into this landing right here. Obviously there's some work to be done here. And right here in the other corner, a hip, like a left-hand hip, which would bring you to this outer part of the perimeter. And I think there's enough kind of little changes in elevation, undulations, if you will, that you could build a couple more doubles and then just make that line so much longer on the perimeter without breaking any rules, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 6 jumps I think I could get in here if I'm not crazy. So yeah, got way more done than I initially thought was going to get done. Mike, thank you for stopping by to help. Amazing what another set of hands can do for getting things done. I've seen it come up in the comments a bunch of times, like, Eric, I wish you'd bring back Tinker Tuesday. Like, where's Tinker Tuesday? This, I think, would be the most feasible version of Tinker Tuesday that I can do for the foreseeable future. The main problem with Tinker Tuesday is it's just not financially feasible for me to do right now. Like, when I was originally doing it, I had YouTube income and my job. Like, I worked in an office, and the office job very much supplemented the cost of getting parts and all that stuff to do Tinker Tuesday content. And the reason I wanted to do Tinker Tuesday was to make sure that I kept uploading while I was working at an office. Like, they basically worked together. And now that I do this now, I'm making about a third of what I made when I worked in an office and did YouTube. So there's no money to do Tinker Tuesday. This, building dirt jumps, it costs nothing. And I can just kind of like pick away at it and tinker with dirt. So this will be kind of my Tinker Tuesday to put out to the world for the next little while.